6th March marks Ghana's independence anniversary. Now, while people remain optimistic that Ghana is on course to keep flying the flag as the Black Star of Africa, others remain very skeptical and cynical, as a matter of fact. Now, on the line joining us from Ghana to look at what Ghana has achieved in 57 years of independence is Ambassador K.B Asante. Ambassador Asante served in Kwame Nkrumah's government, that's the first president of Ghana, and has also served in a few more successive governments. He also served as the principal secretary of the African Affairs Secretariat from 1960 to 1966. You're welcome to SaharaTV, Ambassador Asante.
Thank you.
And it's my honor and my privilege to be speaking to you today. Thank you for making time with us. First of all,
it's a pleasure.
Okay. First of all, let me ask you, what was it like 57 years ago? Can you give us a quick flashback?
Oh, it was electric. We were excited. I think Ghanaians welcome the coming of independence. Even those opposition who thought Nkrumah was too much in a hurry. I think everybody was happy. We were thoroughly happy. And what was more important is that some of us felt that that was the beginning. We were going to turn Ghana into a modern country with metropolis of learning, industry, and culture. We were very elated. And that was what Kwame Nkrumah preached, and many of us were agreed with him. And therefore, we thought of great things to come.
Okay, so fast forward 57 years on, you just told us about the high hopes that Nkrumah and all Ghanaians at that point, in fact, had. 57 years on, does Ghana reflect anything remotely close to what Nkrumah envisioned?
Nobody who was involved in the euphoria in 57 years ago will be happy with the present state of development of Ghana. But we have achieved some of the objectives which we set ourselves. For example, we have expanded the educational system. We have created institutions which should promote democracies, self-help, good governance, and so on. We have improved, at least institutionally, the health services, and we are doing our bit with agriculture and the economy, but we cannot but be disappointed about what we've achieved so far. For example, my personal view is that we don't balance our budget, and we depend upon outsiders to help us to supplement our budget and so on. And there's a tendency to look outside for help. We've lost a lot of that self-confidence which Nkrumah inspired, and which most of us acquired at independence. The belief that we could do it, the sweat of our own brows, that we could look at our own circumstances and decide what is necessary and do it, instead of relying so much on outside advice, intervention, and so on. So those of us who grown up at independence, I don't know whether everybody agrees with me, but I, in particular, and a few of my friends, we are not happy. But we have achieved a little, and in my opinion, it's a good that we are not happy and that we think much should be done. And we are trying to tell the public that we shouldn't be complicit, we shouldn't be happy. It is said that we are now a middle-income group, and we say that is not good enough. Why a middle income? Why not a top income group? What is preventing Ghana from becoming the metropolis of learning, agriculture, industry, which we aspire to? We
Okay.
have all the resources and we have the manpower. We have brains in Ghana. We can do it.
Okay.
All we need is self-confidence and to get rid of that colonial mentality where we think others will do things for us and not ourselves. We should have confidence in ourselves.
Okay, Ambassador.
Yes.
Okay, so, I mean, we hear a lot of good news and bad news from Ghana depending on where you're getting your news from. You've actually, stated a few of some of these things. In your personal opinion, do you think that there's hope for Ghana? Is these things that you've enumerated that
Yes,
are
there's
not
hope.
that great? Is there hope for them to be
There is
rectified?
hope because many Ghanaians are not happy, with what is happening. So there is hope. And I don't think the government itself. I do talk to some government ministers, some people in key positions, and in the public they will tell you that all is well, they're happy and so on. But I know that many of them believe that we could do better, and they are trying to right the wrongs which have occurred. So I am optimistic.
Okay. So where would you say we went wrong? Because obviously we started on a bright note of Nkrumah's vision and all of that, but 57 years down, there seems to be some kind of a hiccup. Where exactly did we go wrong? Did it start with the military coups?
We went wrong when we overthrew Nkrumah. It's not the overthrow itself which I'm talking about. But the fact is, Nkrumah was such a great figure that when we overthrew him, we wanted to show that he wasn't that good as people thought, even that he was bad, and that everything he did wasn't that good. And therefore, we tried to pull down the structures. He had a few industries, a few enterprises. We tried to destroy all of them. And then, in a way, we thought he was too much connected with the East. We turned west, and we tended to believe then that government should not be involved in actually development. We should leave things to private enterprise. We had the intellectuals to come and write papers or holding companies. We turned these enterprises to holding companies and all that. Now, then down along the line, we found out that things were not that good. So in Achapo's government, for 3 years, we changed course. We tried to instill the self-reliance into the body politic. The slogan was, grow what you eat and eat what you grow, and produce for yourselves and for export. And we took no money from outside, no loans, for 3 years. But then Achapo's changed. That's another story.
This was under a military government, though.
Achapo was a military government. Then they changed course, and then things went down again. And then we had Liman's government for a short time. Things were so bad. Rollins came, and he tried to put things right. But he had to go there, the West. He had to go to IMF and so on. We devalued heavily, and the country was more or less guided by from our side, generally. Although we did have our own way in many instances, but generally the economy was such that we had to literally do what our the donors, those who supported us, said.
Dictated,
And
okay.
now the economy is not bad. It's not as good as it should be. We still depend on our outsiders. But I personally, there are a few people who think that way. We don't have to depend on them to that extent. We can be self-reliant. We can fashion our own future. And that we shall move forward faster if we believe in ourselves. So look at what should be done in Ghana, the Ghana of today, and not just look at what is being done in Britain, America, and follow suit.
Okay. So at present, what are we doing wrong? You've just told us what we did wrong along the line. Currently, if you had the opportunity to advise the government on policy, where we probably are going wrong on policy, what would you say? And what are we doing right that you think we should keep, doing? Hello?
What we can solve later, and above all, have a plan, and go by a plan. What is happening now is that we have what some call ad hocism. The government gets some money somewhere and puts up a project here, a school here, a university here. Then governments want to stay in power and they want to get the votes in one area. So it appears to satisfy them, they then decide to build a school or university and so on. I think that is not good enough. I'm not alone in that, but you don't build a country that way. Let us sit down, have a plan, and then education. There's so much wrong with this education now. We have many people, we've expanded university education, but we must be brutally frank. Not all the products are good enough. Those who have finished their university, not all of them. And we should find out what is wrong and put things right. The same with schooling. We've had a fee-free basic education for a long time, since Nkrumah's time. And yet, you'll find that right now, more than half the population are not proficient in the English language, which is the official language. It is pathetic. And we should, again, address such crucial issues and try to put them right, because it's a basic of development.
Okay, and what are we doing?
Then the economy. We should try to stop the present system whereby we consume what others produce and we export not so much. And that is why the CD is down at the moment. And we should be brutally frank and solve the fundamental problems. Right now, there's a problem with the CD. The Bank of Ghana made certain plans, certain rules and regulations. Some of us think that is not good enough. Let's address the fundamental. Fortunately, President Mahama, in his speech last week, did say that we should correct this basic imbalance. We should try to produce more and export and not just import and import.
Okay, Ambassador, so on the other hand, what would you say we're doing right that you would encourage a government to stick to, briefly?
What we're doing right is, I think, is that perhaps there is the government opposition seem, although they have different views, they do cooperate in Parliament and elsewhere on important issues. The government seems to be listening to the public, and we have a democracy.
Okay.
But that is not enough. What we should do now, because of perhaps of that politics and our own natural tendencies, we don't enforce the law. To me, that is a major problem facing the country.
Okay, Ambassador, we're sorry about that. We are fast running out of time, but there are certain questions that I really want you to address, so I'll quickly move on to those. Ghana was the black star of Africa. Ghana inspired a lot of other African countries towards the path of independence. What is the role in today's geopolitics? If considering Ghana, does Ghana still have that role of, leading the charge?
Ghana is an active member of the African Union, but I don't think we have the same passion as we had in the Nkrumah's time, where we try to help to fashion the future the way we want it. We tend too much to take our ideas cue from England. For example, when Ghana to Ghana in Rawlings' time, and we refer to him as brother and so on. And then right now on the radio, we talk to him as a dictator, former dictator, and so on. Gaddafi was, with all his faults, he was promoting the African Union. And when the problems, of course, he did some bad things, and the people didn't want him. But we cannot, and in Nkrumah's time, we would have said, we cannot be unmindful of foreign pressures. And that is the problem now. So
in line with that,
members, lukewarm members of the...
In line with that, let me ask you about your opinion of Robert Mugabe of Zimbabwe.
Yes. What about him?
Is he doing the right thing? We, just like you said, he's getting a lot of flack from the international press.
When you say the right thing, I'll say, is it doing what should be done at this moment? There is no doubt about it that he had a good case about the with the British, so far as British and the agriculture, the land and so on are concerned. But we live in the real world, and he because of his policies, the economy of Zimbabwe suffered a lot, and people suffered. Now, the art of politics is to get the people to move on, and yes, he has kept the country together. He's still president, but I think the country is not as prosperous as it should have been, and in that respect, he's not done that well. But he has done well in keeping the country together, and in not becoming just a lackey of any other country. Okay.
Finally, Ambassador, you served Kwame Nkrumah's government, and then you also served Buzier's government. Now, these are two opposing ideologies, if you will. How did you manage that? What's your...
Yes. Now, as an official, a civil servant, you are not involved in the formulation of the ideology. But when it's translated into action, then you prevent it. For example, President Kufuor came and said he wanted 4 years senior high school instead of 3. So if I were in the Ministry of Education, as soon as he said that, I'll try and find out how you could do that. How many more teachers you need, classrooms and so on. Find out from finance how much money is available and so on. And present a plan. So that was how I and a few others worked, even in Nkrumah's time. And that was why we were able to serve the others. Well, you may not believe in the 4 years, but you have to find out how it could be achieved as best as possible.
Well stated. Now, I said finally, but forgive me, very, very finally. In neighboring Nigeria, there's a lot of situations going on. Boko Haram, the economy, missing oil money, all of that. What would you advise the Nigerians?
Well, I don't think I know as much about Nigeria to advise, but I think the leaders should realize that this can't go on. Boko Haram, the menace should be contained. They should beef up their security forces. And then we have a lot of corruption in Ghana. That's one of the big problems in Ghana. But the Nigeria want to is for water and Ghana is not good enough. As you say, all money. The governor was recently, the governor of the central bank was put aside because I see, and he was asking awkward questions about all bodies getting this. I think that is not good enough for a big country like Nigeria, one of the leading countries. And we Africans who are really concerned should not condone such action. Nigeria should be a leader, not a country which sort of encourages or which where there's so much corruption and so on.
Okay, Ambassador KB Asante, thank you so very much. Your time is very well appreciated
Pleasure.
with us.
Pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.
So this has been Ambassador KB Asante, a former diplomat, educationist, and a retired statesman. Thank you for watching. There's more to come. Remember to watch this program every Saturday on Roku, as well as all the other platforms that we have. Thank you. There's more coming.